Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to episode 9 of
Yeah,
CO Sports Talk. And a lot went down this week. Some blockbuster trades around the draft happened for the Niners, and also March Madness is wild. We have 8 teams left. So let's get into it. Quickly, high school football. The Palo Alto Vikings JV wise got a nice win this week, 1-1. Our own Tommy Butler got a touchdown. Rolled a clip. Yeah, so as you see there, nice touchdown by him. And Sacred Heart Gators JV is 3-0 as well. And at the varsity level, MA still undefeated. Sacred Heart is still undefeated, and they meet this weekend. A huge game there. And Palo Alto Vikings struggled a little bit this weekend versus Mountain View, so they're 0-2, but they're a young team, so their future is bright.
yeah, I think they'll be fine down the stretch. This season they can just figure some things out. A lack of Call of Voska play will do that to a team, and so yeah,
Yeah,
they just got to develop some guys. So and yeah, just figure some things out. But I think they'll be fine under Coach Nelson Gifford, who obviously has turned this program around the
it's
last
starting
few
to turn.
years. So yeah, just get
Yeah.
some of the cats in, you'll be fine.
So there's a quick high school football recap. Let's move into the actual important stuff. No offense to high school football. Let's get into March Madness. So we had 8 games this weekend. The Sweet 16 happened and it started Saturday morning with Oregon State taking on Loyola Chicago, and the 12 seed Beavers won this, and they move on to the Elite Eight representing the Pac-12. And I mean, it was awesome. Ethan Thompson dropped 22, and Cameron Crutwig's college career is done.
Yeah, the Beavers continue to dominate. They're impressing me. I keep doubting them, and I feel like, oh, their run's gonna stop here, right? It has to. But no, I thought Loyola Chicago was a Final Four team, and the Beavers take them down. Loyola Chicago team, they just beat number one seed Illinois, goes in as a favorite in this game and falls to 12 seed Oregon State. So Oregon State looks good. I think they can potentially beat Houston and maybe even make the Final Four, which would be insane. A team that was predicted to finish last in the Pac-12, 12 seed. Um, but yeah, they look great.
Yeah, I mean, this Oregon State team, they are one of the hottest teams in the country right now. They came into the Pac-12 tournament. As you said, they were picked last to win in the Pac-12. They came into the Pac-12 tournament this year as the underdogs. No one thought they would make the tournament. And look at them, they're hot right now. Won tons of games in a row. Started with that Sunday night win versus the Oregon Ducks before the Pac-12 tournament, and they just beat Loyola Chicago. Sister Jean is done, and the Ramblers are out. But Oregon State deserves it, so now they'll take on the Cougars of Houston.
I think this kind of shows you what March is all about. It's about which team's the hottest. It's not about who has the most talented team, who was best during the regular season. It's about who's on the hot streak, who's winning games when it matters. And right now it's the Oregon State Beavers. So we'll see if they can continue it versus Houston and that talented Cougars team.
All right, so now moving on to the second game this weekend. It was Villanova, the 5 seed, taking on 1 seed Baylor. And the Bears were in control this whole game, and they really pulled away at the end. They won it by 11, 62-51. So good win for the Baylor Bears, and they've looked good this tournament.
Yeah, they look good. I feel like they were behind, besides Michigan, who obviously are missing Isaiah Livers, their best player. They were looked as kind of like a one seed that wasn't as strong and maybe not favorited to win, but they look good. They look as good as any other team not named Gonzaga. So yeah, they had no problem handling this Villanova team, and so Baylor will move on to face Arkansas, and I think that'd be a really good game.
Yeah, both me and you called that game. I mean, that's probably the only Elite Eight we successfully called,
Yeah.
but it's still impressive. We both called that Elite Eight, and we said it was going to be a movie from the beginning, and it's going to happen now. So I'm excited to watch that. And for this Baylor team, I mean, they really just spread the ball around. They don't have one really star player. I mean, they obviously have Butler, but they spread the ball around. Butler only had 9, and Mitchell had 14, and then off the bench, Flagger had 16 for the Bears. So they're an all around team, and I mean if they beat Arkansas, they can win this national championship. They can contend with Gonzaga.
Yeah, obviously they're one of the best backcourts in the league with Davion Mitchell and Jared Butler. But I think the biggest thing about this Baylor team is their depth. They got the mullet bros off the bench, Matt Meyer, who can shoot the lights out. Yeah, just all around good team and that's what you need in March. So we'll see what this Baylor Bears team can do. But I think I can see them making the Final Four, maybe even making national championship.
Absolutely. Completely agree with you on that. So the Baylor Bears move on, and they will face Arkansas, as we mentioned, who just squeaked by the Oral Roberts Golden Eagles. At Max Amos had himself another game for him and the Oral Roberts Golden Eagles, 25 points for him, but it wasn't quite enough. And man, this Oral Roberts team was definitely the best 15 seed we have ever seen. Second 15 seed to ever make the Sweet 16 behind Florida Gulf Coast back
Mhm.
in 2013, but they got crushed in the Sweet 16. They contended and almost beat Arkansas. I mean, they could have won a national championship.
Yeah, I mean, I remember that Florida Gulf Coast team, Dunk City. They were really fun to watch. But this Oral Roberts team is just a all-around good team with Kevin O'Banner and Max A. Smith leading the way. A. Smith, sorry, was phenomenal and almost beat Arkansas. They could have called a foul on that last shot there. I'm not sure. It was close, but he almost got the game winner to go, which would have been really electric. But Arkansas comes out of there with a W, ends the Cinderella run,
Yeah,
and ends what would have been history. But Arkansas, my Elite Eight, Final Four pick actually. So let's see if they can continue that, and I can actually get some of the Final Four teams right.
yeah, what a run for the Razorbacks. Tate with a nice clutch shot there to seal it for the Razorbacks, 22 points for him. So, I mean, this Razorbacks team is the last SEC team standing, and we will see, as we mentioned, Numbers Baylor is going to be an outstanding game. But once again, props to Oral Roberts, an amazing run this year's Cinderella team, and people that go to that school and alumni of Oral Roberts will definitely never forget this March Madness.
Yeah, it's an awesome moment for that university, and I'm sure that just made a lot of people happy there. And great for Oral Roberts, and they could be back soon, maybe as a 15 seed again, see if they can work their magic. And
Yeah.
then the final game from Saturday was Syracuse Houston, and I think Syracuse, a lot of people thought they would actually win this game, but Houston came out and dominated this game.
Yeah, absolutely. This game really surprised me because all week going into this game, I had Syracuse winning, and I thought at least it was going to be a close game because Houston didn't look too good against Rutgers. But I was wrong. Houston dominated this game from start to finish, and they really played well. Buddy Boheim was pretty quiet, only had 12 points, and Grimes actually wasn't. He didn't drop like over 20. Everyone kind of spread the ball around for the Cougars, and that's good basketball. So I mean, they look really impressive going into Elite Eight game versus the Beavers.
Yeah, I mean they didn't even have to score. They only their defense only let up 46 points, which is kind of crazy. I mean, we know this Houston team is they're not known for their efficiency, and they're not actually a very good shooting team. They just get offensive rebounds. Second chance points is where they live. So this
Yeah,
Houston team's gritty. They grind, and yeah, so they're looking good now. I didn't think they would beat Syracuse at all. I thought Syracuse would win that 100%, but they proved me wrong. Uh, Great defensive game by Houston. So
yeah,
you
absolutely.
gotta, yeah,
I mean, I had Syracuse winning, but at least I was almost 100% sure on Syracuse was going to cover the plus 6.5. But I mean, totally wrong on that. Houston hammered the minus 6.5 and won the game outright. So shout out to Houston. They did surprise a lot of people. All right, so there's the four games that were on Saturday. And before we get to the four on Sunday, let's take a little halftime break from the games and give a shout out to our leaders, as you see on your screen. The leaders of the tournament challenge that we did on cosports.group. Graydon Abel is winning that right now. And then in second place, we have a tie. It looks like Tommy Butler and Momin Maroff. But we also have some other people close, and everyone's really contending. So, a lot of Gonzaga picks out there, but there's also a lot of other picks. Like I had Illinois winning their out, but I mean, I'm still in contention as you can see.
yeah.
And
No
also,
one's out.
yep,
Yeah, no one's out. I mean, the farther the tournament goes, the more it matters than how the points are, because you predicted them to go far and they did go far. That gives you a lot of points. So no one's out. Graydon has not solidified his spot at number one. Anyone can go. Even me sitting at number 9 right now, I have a shot.
yeah,
Because my final four is actually looking decent. Two of my four are still
yes,
in the
sir.
lead eight, which is pretty good. Arkansas and Gonzaga. Um, but yeah, so we'll see what happens. All right, let's get into Sunday slate of games. That was today as we record this, Sunday, March 28th, the Sweet 16 games. So let's go. The first game today was Gonzaga Creighton. Gonzaga had zero issues handling Creighton, who just came off two nice wins versus UCSB in Ohio, 12 and 13 seeds at that, but still nice wins. And so Gonzaga, the obvious favorites to win this whole tournament. They come out and they dominate Creighton. No surprise there. Put up 83 points. So, I mean, Gonzaga looks outstanding, bro. I don't think anyone can stop them at this point.
Yeah, I mean Gonzaga looked great. They won and covered. They did what true champions do, and their kind of their three-guy duo really shined. I mean, Kispert only had 12, but Drew Timme, 22 points for the lad. Drew Timme, 6 rebounds. I mean, great game for him, 10 for 14 on the field goals. So it was a great game for the Zags all around, and it just shows why they're the best team in the country. And I mean, the way they're playing right now, I really think they're going to be the first team to ever go undefeated since and win the national championship since 1976.
Yeah, only person that can stop them is themselves at this point. So the second game was Michigan, Florida State. I picked Florida State in this one, and then I was proved wrong. Michigan keeps proving the haters wrong, keep proving the doubters wrong that they can win without Isaiah Livers, and they keep doing it. And they came out and they beat Florida State, which is a good defensive team, by 18 points. So I mean, Michigan looks good, and I think they can make the Final Four because they're playing an 11 seed in UCLA, even though UCLA still looks really good.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm very happy that I picked Michigan to make the Elite Eight. That ended up looking good on me.
Mhm.
So this Michigan team, I would have picked them, as I said a couple weeks ago, I would have picked them to win the national championship like 3 weeks ago before the tournament, before they started losing and kind of got cold when they were at their hottest point and they had livers. But they've surprised us all. I mean, Dickinson has been amazing. He
Yeah.
was great today, and they really just controlled Florida State all around. So both these games this morning were kind of blowouts,
Mhm.
and Michigan and Gonzaga really showed that they're powerhouses this morning.
Yeah, I mean, all the games today were decided by 10 points or more, even though the game we're about to get into didn't look like that, which was UCLA Alabama. And Alabama hit a clutch three at the buzzer to send this game to OT, but UCLA just took it and ran with it once they got an OT. Uh, they kind of just dominated that OT period, and they came out with a 10-point win, 88-78. So UCLA um, continues their streak of upsets as an 11 seed. They were playing game versus Michigan State, and they keep beating everyone. I don't know. Do you think Michigan can stop UCLA at this point?
I mean, I honestly don't. I think this UCLA team is very hot. They are an incredible team right now with Tiger Campbell at point, and then they got Juzang, and then they got Jaime Jaquez. I
Yeah.
mean, they're a really solid team, and then they're very well coached under Nick Cronin. So I think this UCLA team can go far, and I mean, it just shows how strong the Pac-12 is. All year, all these teams have been beating up on each other. So UCLA barely even made the tournament, and teams like Oregon State had no shot of getting in. But since they all beat up on each other in such a strong conference, they're finally showing up in the big league when they're all playing each other. I mean, 3 teams in the Elite Eight is amazing. And this was the best game today by far. It was a great game, and what a buzzer beater by Alabama just to make it to overtime, but they did not get the win.
Yeah, the Pac-12 continues their showing. They're 11-1. They're only well, I guess 12-2 now. Um, but the only teams that have lost is Oregon and Colorado. And yeah, so the final game for today was a little Pac-12 on Pac-12 matchup, USC versus Oregon. And USC came out and they're still hot. I mean, Oregon just beat Iowa. I thought they were going to win this game. USC just beat up on Kansas, but USC handles Oregon pretty easily, and the Trojans take down the Ducks.
I mean, this USC team is strong. The Mobley brothers are an amazing pair right now for the Trojans. And then they also got Santa Clara Bronco transfer Taj Eddy. He's a very solid player for the Trojans. Dropped 20 points tonight against Oregon. And then they also have Isaiah White, who dropped 22. So they are very deep. They got a great coach. He came over from Florida Gulf Coast, Andy Enfield, that is, and he's finally made a deep run in the tournament like he's wanted to do. So I mean, there you have it. This is a great Elite Eight. We got 3 of the 4 1 seeds, and then we also have 11 seeds and 12 seeds. So it's not just all chalk. So the matchups are on Monday tomorrow. Oregon State and Houston at 4:15 Pacific, and Baylor Arkansas, which will be a movie, at 6:57 Pacific. And then Tuesday, which is gonna be weird by the way, Monday, Tuesday, Elite Eight. I'm used to the Saturday, Sunday Elite Eight. But Monday, Tuesday Elite Eight, UCLA, Michigan, great matchup there. I love that matchup. And USC Gonzaga, which is also an awesome matchup.
Yeah, it's gonna be hype. I'm looking forward to these games. We got a 12 seed, a 6 seed, an 11 seed, and then 3 1 seeds and a 2 seed. So we got a lot of chalk, but a lot of upsets as well. So I think this is gonna be a great slate of games tomorrow and Tuesday. So
Yeah,
looking forward to
absolutely.
the rest of this tournament.
Only one Big Ten team, only one SEC team, zero ACC teams, and one SEC teams, and then one West Coast Conference school and three Pac-12 schools. So, if you had to make a championship predictions right now or Final Four, what would you say on the spot?
Honestly, on the spot, I would go Oregon State. I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna go with Baylor now because I
Yeah,
just like the way they're playing right now.
they are playing great.
Gonzaga and UCLA Michigan is gonna be great. I honestly that could go either way, but I'm gonna go with UCLA right now just because they're so hot. Um, I can see that go either way though, but I'm gonna be bold and say UCLA. So Oregon State, Baylor, Gonzaga, and UCLA is my final four right now. What about you?
Yeah, I got UCLA Gonzaga. I mean, I think UCLA is just so hot right now; they're not going to lose. And Gonzaga, obviously, I think is the hottest team in the country. Haven't lost. And then I got Arkansas winning it. I just like how they match up against Baylor, even though this Baylor team is playing well against Oregon State, one of the hottest teams in the country. So Oregon State, Arkansas, UCLA, and Gonzaga, and then Gonzaga beating Arkansas. I think.
Yeah, I would probably have Baylor beating Oregon State and then Gonzaga beating UCLA and then Gonzaga beating Baylor. So
Yeah,
yeah, so Gonzaga's our champion either way.
but I'll
But
be rooting for Pac-12 schools. But yeah,
yeah, probably.
and
Uh,
Gonzaga.
I think Oregon State's probably the team I'm rooting for besides Gonzaga right now. But I honestly want Gonzaga to finish the perfect season.
I do just because they've never won a national championship, so it would be awesome to see.
Yeah, but if they get upset somehow, my money's on the Beavers. Or not money's, but that's what I'm rooting for. So yeah, that's all we got for the March Madness. And we're looking forward to the rest of the tournament.
Friday, we had some huge news in the NFL. The 49ers have traded a lot of their future for this year's third pick with the Miami Dolphins. I mean, first reactions I had was this was a pretty solid move on both teams, but especially for Miami. And they ended up getting the sixth pick, so they kind of finessed it just to move down three and get all that. But for the Niners, I mean, they're giving up this future, so this player cannot be a bust.
Yeah, they gotta make the right selection here because their future is in jeopardy. And Miami just keeps racking up picks. Um, and like they were a fringe playoff team. They didn't quite make it, but they went 10-6, and they had the third selection. They moved down 3 spots to six, and the Eagles, who had the sixth selection, go to 12 to where the Niners were initially. So just a little flip flopping there. But as a Niners fan, who do you hope to take, and who do you think will be available for you at this spot, assuming Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson go 1 and 2 as they're projected to be?
I mean, I think it has to be a quarterback at three. I personally was a fan of trading for one if we're going to go for one, if we're not going to stick with Jimmy G, because we
Yeah.
don't have to give up as much. But I mean, this person could be the future, they're the truth. So, I mean, if Zach Wilson is available, you got to hammer him. I will take him any day of the week. Zach Wilson, I mean, he could be a menace on the Niners. But assuming the Jets take him and obviously Lawrence goes to the Jags, I think Justin Fields is a real possibility going to the Niners. But if not, I could see Trey Lance becoming a Niner.
Yeah. Do you think this trade is kind of a waste if you guys don't end up going quarterback? I mean, I don't think it happens. I think you guys probably 90% chance you guys go quarterback, but let's say you don't. Are you gonna be mad at that?
I mean, I think yeah, because we could have got anyone else at 12 or even like maybe trading with another team, not going to three.
Right.
But Devontae Smith, I mean, we don't really need another receiver. We could get someone at 12. So yeah, I don't yeah, it would be a waste, I think, if we don't
Yeah.
trade or if we don't get a QB. And I mean, on Thursday afternoon, I saw John Lynch. I was walking home from football with some friends, and he was on the phone watching his daughter's tennis match or something. But he was on the phone away from people on speakerphone with someone, and I asked him if he was on the phone with Deshaun Watson, and he kind of just laughed at me and said hi. But about like 12 hours later, we traded for the third pick. So he must have been on the phone with the Dolphins then.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess that's what was happening, and that's cool that you got to witness a trade live. I mean, obviously, I hadn't gone down yet, but a little trade discussion. But yeah, John Lynch obviously has something up his sleeve. He has a game plan, but we'll see what he does because I'm interested to see what happens. I'm not a Niners fan personally, but I still want to see how this move pans out for them.
Yeah, and I mean before we end, what do you like for your Patriots at 12? Do you still like going QB, or since you re-signed Cam Newton, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, at 15, it could be if Mac Jones is still available. I honestly am fine with that. Um, but I think we could get linebacker help. Like if Michael Parsons falls, I doubt he will. Kyle Pitts is now not. I don't. I think his draft stock got raised a lot because he ran an unofficial like 4.46, I think. So he's probably projected to go top 6 now. But yeah, it just could be a bunch of guys. Um, I think offensive line can be addressed now that Joe Tooney left, Marcus Cannon left, but I think I don't think we can really screw it up. We're at a good position in the draft, right in the middle. So I'm fine with taking any position, just not like a running back or a worthless position like that. No offense, running backs.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree with you on that. All right, so now moving on to our outro. But before we do that, just shout out to the MLB. You know that's starting on next Thursday, April 1st.
Yep.
So get excited for the MLB. We will be talking about that. Expect a lot of MLB content, and I mean I'm excited for the season.
Yeah, I'm juiced for the season. See what the Giants will do. Me and Casey are both Giants fans, but we will be covering all the teams as usual because we're not biased. And yeah, so
Just
hyped to see what happens, and I'm hyped for opening day. So let's get it. Thanks everyone for tuning in to episode 9 of CO Sports Talk. It is our pleasure to keep providing episodes for you guys every single week. Sorry for the late upload. This could be uploaded on Sunday night, but also could be early Monday morning. So we apologize for that. We've been both been pretty busy with our school lives and stuff like that.
yeah.
But yeah,
That doesn't mean we're gonna take breaks. Hope their editor cringy gets it together. But I mean, at 50 subscribers, we will announce. We're gonna drop some merch maybe, and also at 50 subscribers, or maybe 100 if you guys kill it, we're gonna have a special trivia episode with 8 people, 4 on each side of fans, and we're gonna have questions, and we're gonna have a nice trivia episode on the show, of course, on YouTube, and it will be a great episode. So stay tuned for that and
yeah.
sub if you want to see it.
Hit that subscribe button if you want to maybe even participate in that, or just watch it. Your choice, but hit that red subscribe button. If it's still red, means you haven't subscribed. So change that, make that button gray, and we will see you guys next week. Peace.